section about food waste in America. So a little introduction why we chose America is because of the scale of how the food waste in America could affect the whole world. And it's going to be the same sections as the food waste in general, including the causes of food waste in America, the effects, and also how food waste in America is a direct contributor to global climate change. So let's begin with the causes of food waste in America. As you can see in this graph, there are actually two main causes that in this literature review, researchers says that is the cause of food waste in America. Number one is the interconnected food supply chain. So you can imagine how researchers says that food waste in America is caused by the whole supply chain and all the stages are connected. As in this chart, you can see that there are 4 stages and all of them contribute to food waste in a different level. But the most important thing about this cause is that everything is connected. It's also important to note that transportation is also included, but it's not in this graph because many researchers says that transportation it's kind of like all over the place. Sometimes transportation is in the middle of stage 1 and 2, sometimes it's in 2 and 3, and so on. Now to make it even more interesting, I want you to look at this case study of food waste in America, specifically in California or Salinas Valley. Most of the information is from the book called American Wasteland, but it's also a normal condition of lettuce farm in America in general. As you can see here, in each state, lettuce is wasted. For example, during harvest, farmers tend to pick the lettuce that feels. They just use the feeling that it's right, it's being able to sell. But if they don't feel that it's right by just pushing the head of lettuce, they throw it away. And then the next one is manufacturing. Manufacturing causes a lot of waste because when you manufacture lettuce in America, you tend to cut it, wash it, or put it in packaging, which causes a lot of waste. The other one is transportation. The main problem is because of the refrigerating system in the truck, that it's not usually that good, so that it destroys the quality of lettuce. And the next one is retail. So imagine you selecting the lettuce in America supermarket. When you choose it, you tend to pick, you tend to shake it and doing everything that make the leaves of the lettuce gone, and then it creates opening for the bacteria to get inside. And also, retail stores, they like to put the oldest lettuce in front so that you choose it instead of the newest one at the back. And because of that, when you choose the worst one, it tends to be wasted faster because if it doesn't feel fresh, you don't want to eat it, you ended up keeping in your house, just like how the household in America did that by overspending, buying things that they don't need like lettuce, and also over-consume. So next. This is a deeper case study about food waste in America. It's just like a source that I want to recommend to you. Like if you want to learn more about it, I recommend this YouTube channel where they always post about how the lettuce or their crops is exposed to food waste issues in America. Next. Another causes of food waste in America that the researchers in this literature review say is only the consumer as a cause. So before it was like a multi-factor cause, this is the sole factor. So it's like they say that it's the only cause by consumer and the other stages are not involved. And as you can see in this pie chart, there are like 4 types of consumers that waste in a different consumption patterns, but they all waste in a different level. Next. Now moving on to the effects, this is going to be very fast because it's just citing the section before of food waste in general, that there are 3 main impacts. Environmental, of course, we know how food waste in American landfills releases methane. And then we have economic, which you can see all the numbers, which are the financial losses of food waste in America. But to sum up, it creates a loss of America's GDP for about like 1.4%. And also, in social effects is the food insecurity. As you can see in this graph, this is the amount of food insecure Americans increasing every year. Next. To make it even more interesting, we want to present the extent extended impacts, especially in America. The first one is ethical impacts. So many researchers say that food waste in America also has ethical impacts, and no matter what kind of ethical theory you use to explain, it all says that food waste is unethical. The next one is cultural impacts. This is specifically about the National School Lunch Program, which is a very famous program in America, but it's very debatable because American kids tend to not like the food they're eating, or they feel like it's not full with nutrition, so they just throw it away and creates a lot of food waste. And the last one is religious. There are a lot of proverbs in Christianity saying that food waste in America is kind of like a sin and it's disrespectful towards God. And then we also have some sources that if you're interested in these extended impacts, you could see it after this. Next. And the last part is how food waste in America is a direct contributor to global climate change. And all of this is a sum up of how each sources developed historically from at the beginning until the recent one, and they all agree that food waste in America is a direct contributor to the whole world of the global climate change. Especially with the third one on the US EPA, they say that even though food waste in America, if you compare with the other waste in the landfill, it's only about like a quarter of the landfill. But it is so powerful that it creates the most methane emissions compared with others with about like 60%, which is the highest. Next. This is the graph that sums up all the points that we say today, that food waste in America is a contributor to global climate change, because as you can see here, this chart shows that America is the third place in creating the highest food waste, total annual food waste measured in tons. The first one is China, then India, and then we have America, the one we're talking about right now, which I think this is the perfect graph that sums up our points that throughout our presentation. Next. So in conclusion, after this presentation, we hope that you understand the definitions of food waste, about climate change, and of course understand the causes of food waste in America, its effects that extend beyond just social, economic, and environmental. And most importantly, because our research didn't focus more about creating a solution, we focus on understanding the causes and impacts, which is why in the next slide, I have provided some sources that if anyone is interested and want to do further research on creating like a sustainable solutions, we recommended 2 books that I personally like and also use in this research. So we have American Wasteland by Jonathan Boon. It's an oldie like 2011, but it's pretty good. And also we have Freeings by Alex Barnett, which is about how people actually eat in the dumpster. And it's a very interesting topic that if you're interested in finding a solution for food waste in America, you could follow these sources. That's it for our presentation. Thank you.